Good evening, everybody. It's John for Father's Rights, my anti-child neglect, and my anti-child abuse YouTube channel. There comes a step in life why people are going to say, why are you going to do in the future what you're going to do, John? I do think I owe clarification to why I'm about to do what I have to do to save my daughter. Many of you don't know, but after consulting with some of my friends, some of them involved in law enforcement, there's several anomalies on what my wife and her family were up to when it comes to my actual life and well-being, okay, and my daughter's. I have just finished reading the criminal, she had a order protection put against me, right, from the police, and I was wondering why there was a heavily armed police at my house, okay, that day it happened. I didn't realize that at the time she was claiming domestic violence. No, it was way beyond that. Actually, nothing happened except I told her to get out of the house because she was neglecting our daughter. Just get out. If you're not going to do the job, I could do it myself. Actually, a single father is better than a single mother. Well, this is hard to say. When I read the report, she said that I took my service revolver, racked it twice, meaning a bullet for my daughter and for her, and she went to court and reported this to Judge Denise Williams. We have the transcript. That's a false report against a federal peace officer. And what she said, I was wondering why all these cops were here. That's why they were here. They said that I pulled out a weapon on my daughter, that I was attempting to shoot my daughter and her. And then I got to thinking, wait, weeks before that, Clarissa was talking about the life insurance to me for some reason. And I was like, John, you got to promise me one thing. If something happens to me, that with the life insurance you get from something happened to me, you'll take care of my mother. Well, I kind of got upset about that because my daughter was standing right there and she didn't even bother to say, take care of our daughter. You know, my daughter was like, well, ain't I worth something? So what I found out, I do believe my wife is a little bit of a knucklehead. And I believe the two people who told her to do this knew what that outcome was going to be, you know, with the life insurance, because when Jocelyn went off into the wild blue yonder, they got a life insurance payment. So Granny Crazy decided to say, well, hey, if you falsely report him that he's waving an armed, a gun around, a loaded gun around at people, the cops will go over the house and kill him, and we got La Vida Loca. We got the good life. And that's what we came to as a conclusion. Because something's not right here. Why are you reporting that I was waving a loaded gun around? That's like the easiest way to get somebody killed. You say there's an armed person in the building over here, they're going to come out with guns out, and if you sneeze, you're going to be dead. This is what they did to me. And now it's clear, especially this family, they're just a bunch of grifters. I don't even know if any of them have jobs. I know one of them, the child rapist, scams people on his credit repair business that he's running. That's how he makes a living. And he has to, because he has to pay the family to keep their mouth shut about raping the 14-year-old girl. So it took me time to piece it all together. But now I know what they were up to. And I talked to a few of my friends, one of them who works at NYU, and he reads the report, and he goes, this is kind of funny. He goes, she said that you pulled out a gun. He even said it. He goes, This is very suspicious. She's saying you pulled out a gun on her and Gia, and my daughter knows it's not true. But I think these bitches were trying to get me killed to collect the life insurance. You know, I'm out of here.